Okay, I'm right back, actually, a few seconds after I just said goodbye to the full run-through I did. Had several miscues in the last movement and the first movement, and I want to just review them. I'm actually going to try doing them without the music, just with a sense of what's going on. First of all, in the G major, that's number one. There are some times where the entry doesn't happen where it started. In other words, usually it's two in one place. C, E, and it does that. So G, I do need to review this because there's absolutely no sense in learning something you're not playing well. Aha! Excuse me while I go to my Brahms score and see what on earth I'm doing. You can shout it out if you're loud enough. I will try to respond. Maybe the score won't fall apart before I get there. So, here's the G7. G again. B. Okay, on B. And here's where I made twice the same mistake. This undulation has to be taken care of. The first thing to note is the simplicity of that repetition pattern. The only time it breaks, let's see, is when it goes to B. Every other time it repeats. So we have G. Oh. This is the fragmentary version, or fragmented version. So it stops. Okay, it's still messy there, but at least I know where. And that's all white notes. So, no. first accompaniment is much hoarser than any of the others, because it's, whereas the beginning, and the G, this one starts off right away with a double note on top. And I forgot my third. Go to thumb. But then it complicates matters later. I think I have just to rely on the choreography, the arm choreography. Keep things simple. And we're out of horsey on C major. That's the signal. C major, our key. This is the F major one, and it goes to a different place. Excuse me. That's right. Okay, and then I got nervous at the approaching the cadenza. Coda. I knew it was the C word. But still just regular. I should point out that this is very cursory practicing. I just wanted to review those things that really didn't work, where I just drew a blank or got distracted or whatever, just to remind myself now for when I go back and more intensely pull everything apart and put it back together again. So with that aim in mind, I'm also going to go to the trouble spots I had in the first movement, particularly the first ending. So first of all, the retake of the octave, I need to do with a sense of ease and assurance. And the other thing is I love the fact that Brahms Brahms puts his slurs against the grain. Time in those triplets. If I'm just at full tempo, it's just going to sound silly. I want a signal to return. I also want the physical assurance. Not quite. So. Possibly be that I haven't reminded myself to play that last G. And then the other thing was finding myself in completely the wrong place in the keyboard, and the reason was the left hand comes back up to the middle, then goes. For no particular reason other than that Brahms needs to get where he wanted to get. And by comparison, sing on notes. I got a little bit wayward, a lot wayward, not initially. Back there, but that was very iffy stuff, so I need to review that for sure. So it's a B flat 7. The A flat is the 7th. I don't mind. I can't let that distract me from the B flat here. It's an A flat 7th chord, so the bottom. I've had to analyze before. Goes to E flat. That clear approach, F sharp to G. So something like that. Let me see. Little things can really set you off. So this full diminished chord has just a 3-note chord here. That helps actually to set up the hand. Excellent. Why did I yell excellent? Because I had an explanation for something that a detail that needs to be remembered. This leads actually rather nicely into there. Brahms doesn't always do that, but here he does. In other words, he's being physically helpful in his musical solution. So that's a good thing. was a goner, but who knows? So, G. Interesting stuff. Why? First reason was an insecurity in that passage work that was insecure before. I think I just didn't trust it. Remember, single octaves, chords, that needs it. That's right, single note, single octave. I'm still thinking. With my eyes closed. I'm just trying to really feel single octave. So now I'm looking. That when you put two challenges together and are then unable to cope with them because they're two together and they don't represent real challenges, they represent several one impossible task. You have to go looking when you're practicing for the simplicity within the singularity of the task. So, first is that arrival. Back to the G sharp. If I'm worried about the arpeggio and the changing arpeggio, I'm done for. rapidity. That's not hard. Admittedly, if the right hand draws too much attention from you because of the number of notes in the chords, for example, then it'll make it. Now, and this is another interesting thing. The right hand's task in going from single octaves to the one filled in with the third happens in the middle of the left hand arpeggio. So, oops. So in other words, their challenges are timed differently. And I don't think I've ever practiced that particular coordination. So I haven't gotten used to what it feels like when it's right. It's a standard practice mistake, so. Exactly. Just practice. In the left hand. Yes, I go to 2. Maybe that's right. What 3 does is isolates, which in a way is a good thing. What 2 does is it gets you in the mode for what continues. So those two are two oppositional strategies. 3 says, I'm done. 2 says, I'll just continue. I clicked into the mode that said that this composite gesture, the right hand concludes its mode of here, and the left hand supported it. Then I was free to concentrate on the left hand. Whoops. Whoops, I didn't play the full chord that I wanted. Yesterday, I think. I really need to make no fuss there. It's just an awkward moment from wrong rhythm. More left hand this time. get something, and then you approach it, and of course it falls apart. You have to set a new continuation groove, shall we say. Triplets is that its placement relative to the left hand is completely different, and I've got to be aware of that crossing. It's the very next note up. It's very interesting. Maybe I will make my right hand. The right hand before I did coming down it. And the alto voice was the melody. So here it's all connective tissue, I think. So I think I won't try so hard. I'd said F sharp minor, so the difference being the space. Let's see about the first one. Now you see the first one does the same thing twice. The second one does. It's good to know, no? Should have known it a long time ago. Maybe I did. First of all, so big. I think I need to hold back to grow. To make this an important, it's fortissimo and it's sforzando. Such an odd configuration. For my right hand to finish. That's it, the grouping I wanted. Well, what do you know? What I wanted worked. maybe around there. I never got to play it because I skipped it. I have to know, it's that A minor 7th, 4-2, A minor 4-2, way up at the top of the keyboard. Actually, it's the only place, the highest place that that chord could be played. Drifting, let's see. I'm anticipating a big chord, one note too soon. That's correct. Oh, it's an octave. No wonder I anticipated something. Octave. See, I know this section much better than might have been indicated during the run-through, because during the run-through it was preceded by absolute chaos. So that doesn't ever help. I'm going to go back to, actually, maybe I'll go back to the beginning of the development. By the genius desire for C minor. Of course, it's the surprises that Brahms delivers, in this case, the 3, the E flat chord. So in fact, the Ben marcato and the forte don't really happen till the downbeat, so he really suckers us in. Stop thinking. Okay. Let me go back. that I blanked out on. It's an E and it's low. No, it's middle E. Okay. I thought that development that I just ran through, with the singular exception of the descending arpeggio, was about as good as I've done it, at least in terms of clarity of thought and purpose and simplicity and ease. So sometimes what run-throughs offer you are, well, that's often they do. They offer you an opportunity to refine or to focus your energies, because sometimes when you're practicing, you don't know what to practice. You're trying to polish, you're trying to maintain stuff, and you're effectively looking over your shoulder wondering, whoa, what can go wrong? Well, if something goes wrong, it offers you an opportunity to look at your lack of clarity, of thought, of focus, maybe lack of clarity of execution. In other words, do you trust what you're doing? Because if you don't trust it, it's likely to fail you under pressure. So these run-throughs are like pressure tests, right? They put you under that pressure and then they force you to try to identify how you could better equip yourself with sufficient tools of confidence to make you feel that even under pressure you will be okay. I like to think that practice, more than anything else, is attitude adjustments. You increase your involvement in the sharing of the music, in getting inside the music, and try to worry less about you doing that. In other words, it's the way you do it, it's the way you immerse yourself in the music making and the piano playing that counts. And you have to find ways of dismissing as much as possible those voices that make it more difficult for you to do your very, very best. So this has been, the run-through of the pieces overall was decent. This Brahms was probably the least satisfactory. Some of the Bartók went so much better than yesterday, as did the Czerny. But every one of them has lots of refinements to look forward to. So I'm looking forward to them. See you soon.